Do you like camouflage patterns? Would you like to create them on your own? I'm Monika Zagrobelna from Envato Tuts class, and in this tutorial I'll show you how to design your own camouflage pattern. I'll present 4 examples of the military camo patterns: woodland, desert, urban digital, and flecktarn. But if you want to save time, you can visit Envato Elements. The subscription gives you the access to millions of creative digital assets, including diverse camouflage patterns and cool military fonts. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. Now let's move on to the tutorial. The woodland pattern is the most popular one. It's supposed to imitate the leaves, branches, as well as shadows and highlights of a forest. We need to prepare the color swatches first. We're going to need the following colors: green, brown, sand, and black. Feel free to use different shades of these 4 colors to create the level of contrast you prefer. Create a new file using these dimensions. Take the Paint Bucket tool and fill the background with green. Create a new layer, press D, and use the Paint Bucket tool again. Right-click the layer and select Convert to Smart Object. Add a layer mask to this layer. Fill the layer mask with black and click the chain link icon next to it. Press Ctrl-T and in the upper bar change the dimensions to 90%. In the Properties panel, set Feather to about 50%. Press Ctrl-I to invert the colors. This layer mask will stop the splotches from being generated across the edge. Select the actual thumbnail of the layer now. Go to Filter, Render, Clouds. Go to the Adjustments panel and select Threshold. Adjust the level to create a couple of big splotches. Go back to the layer below and go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. Adjust the distance to achieve the level of detail you need. Select both layers and press Ctrl-G to group them. Go to the Channels tab, hold the Ctrl key, and click the thumbnail of the first layer. Go back to the Layers tab and hide the group. Select the background layer and create a new layer. Fill it with brown, then deselect with Ctrl-D. Press Ctrl-T, then hold Shift and drag the sides of the image to the edges of the canvas without actually crossing them. Let's make this pattern seamless now. Go to Filter, Other, Offset. Select Wrap Around and play with the settings to achieve the effect you like. If there's a lot of space between some of the splotches, it's best to keep them near the center of the canvas. The other splotches need to be smaller, so go to Image, Image Size, and change the dimensions this way. Show the group again and change the settings to create smaller, more separated splotches. Double-click the Clouds effect to generate new splotches, adjust the threshold to separate them, and change the distance of the motion blur to make the edges more detailed. Repeat the previous steps to create the sand-colored splotches. When you're done, change the image size again. Take the eraser tool and remove some of the smallest splotches. Then go to Filter, Liquify to make the shape of the splotches more elongated and less regular. Repeat the previous steps to create the black colored splotches. Let's test the pattern now. Go to Edit, define pattern, and give the pattern a name. Create a new layer and fill it with any color. Then double-click it and select Pattern Overlay. Select your new pattern and resize it. Now, take a good look at the end result. Is there anything in your pattern that makes it look inconsistent? If so, hide the layer and fix the problem by moving certain splotches, erasing them, changing their shape, or copying them. Then turn it into a pattern again and test it on the layer above. There are many types of the desert camo. Here we're going to take a closer look at the 6-color camo, also known as the chocolate chip. For this pattern, we're going to need the following colors: sand, beige, light beige, light brown, dark brown, and black. Fill the background with the sand color. Start your pattern the same way as before, but this time use Gaussian blur instead of motion blur. It will make the pattern less elongated. Also, add a black filled layer to the bottom of the group to compensate for the brightness of the background. Make these first splotches big and separated. Fill these new splotches with beige and stretch them almost to the edges of the canvas. Now, create the same set of splotches and fill them with light brown. Use the lasso tool to drag the smaller brown blotches over the small beige ones, and use the liquify filter to drag the bigger ones towards each other as well. Create another set the same way, this time filling them with dark brown. Use the liquify filter again to make them narrower and less regular. Use the eraser tool to remove the smallest splotches. Now merge these 3 layers with Ctrl-E and use the offset filter to make the pattern tileable. Make the image 3000 pixels wide. Create small, round splotches this time and fill them with black. Stretch them to the edges of the canvas. Create an identical set of splotches and fill them with light beige. This time, don't resize them, but instead use the lasso tool to place each beige splotch over the black one. When you're done, merge these 2 layers. Then duplicate the merged layer with Ctrl-J a couple of times, make the copies smaller, and rotate them to fill the empty spaces in the pattern. Use the offset filter to make all these layers styleable. Test the pattern the same way as before and make some corrections if necessary. Digital camo is a type of a camo pattern that is produced by a computer, hence the pixelated look. Pixelated camo can come in all colors, But here we're going to take a look at the urban type. For this kind of a pattern, we're going to need the following colors: dark gray, bluish gray, light gray, and black. Create this pattern the same way as you would the woodland pattern, but this time use these 4 colors. Copy the whole image with Ctrl-Shift-C, then paste it to a new file. Make the image 150 pixels wide, using the nearest neighbor as the resample method. Zoom in until you can see the individual pixels of the pattern. If you can see a wide grid, go to View, Show, Pixel Grid to hide it. Now take the pencil tool and go to the brush settings. Add some scattering and make sure the brush size is set to 1 pixel. Draw with this pencil with dark gray over the edges of the black splotches to make them narrower and more pixelated. Now pixelate the border between the dark gray and the bluish gray splotches. Switch to light gray and make the gray splotches more detailed. Feel free to make the brush a little bigger in some places for more variety. Look at the whole pattern and add any adjustments you need. When you're done, resize the image back to 4000 pixels, keeping the same resample method. You can now turn the image into a new pattern. Flecktarn is a pattern based on speckles grouped together in clusters. Typically, it consists of these 5 colors: pale yellow, light green, red, dark green, and black. Create a new file, 2000 pixels wide and high. Fill the background with pale yellow. Create a new layer. Fill it with black, then duplicate it with Ctrl-J and go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise. Press Ctrl-T and resize the image to 4000%. Put the noise layer into a group. Add a layer mask to the group the same way as before, creating a feathered edge around the border. Add the threshold adjustment layer and adjust it to create a lot of irregular splotches. Create a new layer over the noise layer. Take the brush tool, set the flow to around 10%, and use the soft round brush to make the pattern less consistent. Paint with white to create clusters, and with black to create spaces between them. When you're done, use the same method as previously to turn this black and white pattern into light green splotches. Stretch this new pattern to the edges of the canvas. Go back to the group and remove the content of the layer above the noise layer. Paint on it again, creating a slightly different pattern this time. Turn it into red splotches and stretch it. Use the offset filter on both layers to make them complement each other. Repeat this step, this time trying to turn the elongated splotches into smaller, rounder ones. Remove the smallest ones as well. color the final result with dark green. Stretch the layer, then duplicate it and move the copies slightly up and to the right. Merge both copies with Ctrl-E. Repeat the same step again, this time trying to create one or two big clusters. Color them with black. Finally, turn the whole image into a new pattern, test it, and fix it if necessary. And that would be all. Now you know how to design your own camouflage pattern. Now you can add these patterns to any type of apparel, for example, using the mockup generator, Place It. You'll find the link to it in the description as well. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, click the bell icon to be notified of new videos on the Envato Tuts channel. This was Monika Zagrobelna for Envato Tuts. Thanks for watching!